Welcome to the Simpson Storm Coaches Show. I'm Zach James, and we're here today with head softball coach Henry Christowski. Coach, how we doing?
Just great, and you?
Just fine, thank you. Your team's doing very well too. How do you think the team has been playing these first few weeks in the non-conference setting?
In the non-conference setting, we've played some really tough competition to get ready for the conference season, and I haven't been disappointed. Most of the teams we've lost to have been ranked opponents, and that usually is a measurement of how well we're doing.
How do you think the team has been doing within the conference season?
Well, with only the one doubleheader, we don't have a whole lot to measure by, but I'm really pleased at how we played at Loris and those two wins.
Let's talk about some of the individuals for a second. Chelsea Weingart, for example, leads the nation in batting average. What's that like for her, and how has she handled things at the plate?
She's really been pretty relaxed. I think the pressure is getting a little bit to her right now. Prior to being or maybe leading the nation, she didn't even notice it, and she just went out every day and did her job, and it's really a big job for us.
Tyrion is also doing very well inside the plate. Do you think she can continue the success she had last year? I'm
hoping that she's had a little bit of a rough spell here in the last three games, but I'm thinking she'll come right out of it. She's had two very good years prior to this. I can't help but believe that everything's going to be all right.
Casey's been your workhorse inside the circle, and including a perfect game. First, talk about the perfect game that she had, and talk about how important her role will be on the team this year.
Well, of course, her role on the team is pretty big. She's thrown 82% of our varsity innings, and in Florida that was a real big thing for us because she was throwing 14 innings day after day, back to back, and for her to be able to accomplish that against the competition we were playing was quite great. The perfect game was, of course, kind of a nice little icing on the cake type of thing, and it's kind of funny that we just talked about Weingart, in that Weingart saved that perfect game for her by a diving catch at about the next to the last inning, and so everybody's been contributing, and those two really big right now.
Of course, there always has to be that defensive play in the middle of a perfect game to make it solid. Does Casey remind you of any former pitchers that you had by any chance?
I think every one of the pitchers that I've had have been a little bit different. They bring in a different personality, they bring in a different set of work ethics, they bring in a different maybe overall view of the game itself. I think work ethic wise, she has to contend with Kelly Shade and the fact that she just actually goes out there and works and works and works to try to perfect her game. And she's becoming more of a intelligent pitcher, as well as the work ethic that she puts forth. We probably were a little bit better off with Kelly in that we had a backup pitcher.
Right.
Right now, Casey's being expected to pretty well do it all, and she knows that.
Let's talk about the conference season a little bit. There's a lot of good teams in here. Who do you see being the biggest threat?
Well, I said from the initial stages that probably Co was going to win the conference, and I see right now they're still rated higher than Luther. But when you have three teams in the conference rated in the top 7 in the nation by the coaches poll, it kind of makes the conference a little bit tougher. And I think the other thing that kind of lends into that is that out of the 8 out of the 9 teams in the conference all have above 500 records in non-conference play, and that's kind of saying something.
You guys have 3 doubleheaders at home this week. Is it a relief to finally play at home?
You know, I'm kind of interested to find out whether it's going to be a relief or not. We've played so much on the road, I'm not sure whether we know exactly what playing at home is going to be like. So hopefully we'll find it's a positive experience with a non-conference with Grinnell, and then 2 conference games with Wartburg and then Luther. This could be a very big week for us.
Is Saturday's doubleheader going to be the stamp to what the rest of the season holds?
I'm afraid we probably could use that connotation on it, because Luther definitely is going to be one of those top 3 finishers, and for us to sneak in there and play spoiler, we've got to split with them at least. And since they beat Central twice on this past Saturday, they're going to be coming up against Coe real quick too, so conference is going to be kind of decided about the second or third week of play. It's all going to be pretty much over, and then there's just going to be a lot of teams waiting to spoil the season of somebody by sneaking up and beating them.
Right. Well, Coach, good luck this week. You guys have some very good competition against you, and thanks for coming in.
Thank you.
For the Simpson Storm Coaches Show, I'm Zach James.